All right. In the game. Oh yeah, new ship. You guys probably hadn't seen, but we reached level 40, which is the Rear Admiral level. There's like 3 or 4 missions offline, and we went to the next level, and we got a new ship. The gateway discovered beneath the surface of New Ramblers is prepared and ready for activation. Because the Rumbling Republic is dedicated to sharing the gateway and all we learn from it with our allies, we are inviting representatives from the Rumbling Republic, the Federation, and the Klingon Defense Force to join us on New Ramblers for the first trip to the gateway. I would be honored if you would join us, Admirals. Mission can only be completed by a single player. Woo! Look at that XP. But yeah, so we reached Captain level or Rear Admiral, excuse me, Rear Admiral level. I think we were last time you guys saw us, we were probably like 3 levels away. Did a couple of levels offline, and yeah, now we're here. Got this ship right here. I could go play by play over what we did to get this ship here, right here, blah 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 blah. But suffice it to say, this is our new ship. We could turn the appearance to something else. So you guys see the gray and blue. We could also go like I don't know what would you call this, neon or incandescent, pearlescent. I don't know what you call this, but I could also call that if I so choose. But our normal ship color is gray and blue. So unless we put that visual 8 onto the ship, which we are not going to do right now. But yeah, that's where we are. The missions that we did offline were basically on the planet of New Realmless. We are still within the arc of New Realmless, I think. Secrets of the Ancients, that was the last one. So I guess we're moving on to Spirit Influence. A massive Iconian gateway leads to a Dyson Spear on the edge of the Delta Quadrant, where mysteries lie within. So we're moving on to the Dyson Spear area. It's a tough area. So we definitely needed this ship in order to survive over there. I can tell you that. You're gonna find out. But we definitely increased. Got a new ship, and we haven't taken her out yet. So we're gonna take her out to the new Dyson Sphere and see what's going on. Pretty much it. Um, Let me see. One second. BRB. BRB.
It's very nasty. It's very nasty. It's nasty. Nasty. Nasty.
It's the Grand Slam sales event at John Thornton's with GMC in Carrollton, Kent. You know, I got money, brother, right? Here too. You understand, huh? He does all that social media, so all the stuff you've been seeing, that's him. $100 million, the glory I needed. I took else but walked around like I was undefeated. I saw no results, I still woke up and chased. They told me to find myself, instead I want to find the way. I got a jury. Even the baby got a little stuff. We ready now. No, this guy was saying to say that. I love all y'all. I love all y'all, dog. Hey, he's still in the like something. You know what I'll get you one nigga that did that. Yeah. They gave us compression shorts. I'm wearing. I mean, no friction. It's $291. $291. 32 feet. Green and 10 even. Sweatshirt, sweats off. Arm 32 even. Wing 77 and 3/8. I got sweatshirt, sweats off, please. 250, 250. 30, 68, 4 down. 74, 68. Arm 30 and 6/8. Wing 74 and 6/8. Scratch J, right? 580, 5080. With 2-8. Wing 77 even. Get back to me. 940. 113. Straight your fingers. I get on like that. It's like 309, 305. Right. So 31, 6/8. Got it. 7, 2, 6. Sir, 5117. 5117. 32 and 1/8. What's your favorite? 79. By the bend of that. Shepherd! Man, 97 minutes. Hard, 32 and 1/8. Wait, 79 and 2. Travis Taylor, Travis Taylor. Sit up. That's it. That's it. That's it. Yep. There you go. There you go. Hey, easy. Come on. Go. Come on. Come on. Come on. Speak that green. Just there. Lock it out. Lock it out. Easy work, Five. That's it. Come on. Someone crying. It's really spring. I'm really bugging on that. I really do. You want to get my shoe? Six. think he got Fofo in it. I think he got Fofo in it. He got Fofo. I believe in him. I want to check that car. No, that car's not hurt. I want to check that bitch. That car's not hurt. I want to check it. I'm in that hole. I might be trying to get a photo on this. I really see it. I'm going to come out that bitch so fast. Like, I'm about to run super like, when you took the face, it's all I'm going to run fast in my life. It's the last one. It's the last 40 I ran in my life. This is the last 40 that I'm running in my life, bro. I'm trying to that's what we do. What's wrong? What's it real?
Hey, if y'all need to stop, let me know.
I don't care. Easy work, bro. Don't take a face, you know. It's a good day. I get to watch the dog, spin the ball, get to watch my brothers run the floor. I'm a 487. I'm going to shoot like 4'2". I'm 4'2" by 10 mistakes. He's 5. That's an official place. I'm not a bit here. When I built the name, I just wanted to Six. Oh, so close.
You hold that 4-3. So this like goes. Check it out, maybe. Okay. Okay. 4-5. Stop.
I think he got 4-4 in him. He got one more. I believe in him. I want to trust that clock. No, that clock's not right. I want to trust that bitch. That clock's not right. I want to trust it. I'm in that bowl. I might try to get a 4-2 on this one. I really see it. I'm going to come out that bitch so fast. Like, I'm about to run super like, I'm going to run fast in my life. This last one, it's the last 40 I'm running in my life. This is the last 40 that I'm running in my life, bro. I'm about to chill that something to you. I've been there. I'm seeing something to you. No, the board is wrong. What's your deal? What's your deal? My back.
Hey, if y'all need to stop, let me know.
I don't care. Easy work, right? Okay, so it's a good day. I get to watch spend the ball, get to watch my brothers perform. I'm a 487. I bet she went 4'2". It's 4'2" by Chamber Swayze. Say what? Get back. I gotta cut my dogs out right quick. Like the YouTube video. Appreciate you, man. I got motivation for y'all boys. Get shallow. Yeah, I guess you didn't go. Just three, man. Just three. Can I get a one day too for one? I'll check. Yeah, take me 6 to the I'll check. Yeah, drive. There's a oh yeah, we gotta get there. We gotta get back. You gotta come back. You gotta get back. Get money, bro. Nah, we're just gonna be blessed. Yeah, one guy face, baby. Yes, sir. Everything tight. 80. Yeah. He's like, go say, yes. Yes, Let's stop. Don't hang up the number. I ain't too long to text. Let's do it though. This shit ain't nothing. Been doing this shit. Yeah, man. Go ahead. What you do, bro? Stand it up. So you stand up, everybody goes, yeah, let's go. There we go. There we go. Let's go. Let's go. 6, 5. Let's go. Let's go.
The industrial grade products you need. Ranger, for the ones who get it done.
Let's go.
Man, I did the better for this. No, you would have. No, you would. Nobody said that. The bicycle too. Let's go. It's the Grand Slam Sales Event at John Thornton with GMC in Carrollton, Canada. The season's biggest savings and 17 with a new 2025 GMC Sierra 2500 HD Denali model. Now together.
Google still tracks you in incognito mode. Use DuckDuckGo, a real private browser.
I'm proud to have a business with us. I love y'all boys. We know what's next. You got paid today. Yeah, you did. And so we know what's next. We're going to do it. We're going to find a way together one day. Over here. Come with me. Come with me. You know, I ain't gonna lie. I'm dog fight. Just kicks it and changes the direction. And then 5 cars still be like, Dog, his stuff gonna be production. His pro day. He gonna have it choreographed, dog. It's gonna be first. He gonna start off like getting out of the car. He gonna put it in the whole program. Say, get out of the car. And take this stuff. It's hers. So Tracy, you seen it? I ain't gonna say you seen it. I mean, it's like money in the pockets, bro. Very much so. Hey, I'm gonna go change the clothes right quick. Yeah, don't be wrong, man. I like you go in your bag. I like you go in his bag, son.
Shador Sanders throwing for the first time since that Alamo Bowl appearance for Colorado. Travis Hunter running routes for Shador for the first time in front of cameras since then. Didn't see either of these guys perform at the Combine or the Big 12 Pro Day, but we will see it today. Brett Lewis, Bucky Brooks, Daniel Jeremiah, Brian Baldinger, and Steve White's with us on the field. We'll get to them here shortly as well. Bucky, I'm pretty excited. Look, seeing Shador is going to be awesome, but the fact that we're going to see Travis Hunter catch some of these passes from Shador, something we weren't sure was going to happen, this is a pretty big deal.
Yeah, it's a big deal because Travis Hunter, like I'm still trying to wrap my brain around him being a wide receiver or defensive back. To see him maybe go through the workout twice, when we get a chance to see him run routes and do all that other stuff. And then if he likes to do anything on defense, that's fantastic. But it's rare in today's time that we will see an elite prospect go through the drills and give us everything they want to see.
You know, my first takeaway, guys, watching this is Travis Hunter and Shador look like they both put on good weight.
Yeah.
Since and I mean, that was the topic of conversation with Shador in the spring, weighing under 200 pounds. Now, he's thick. You can see his lower body buck. He's got a nice firm base. He looks like he's thicker to the chest and the shoulders. And Travis Hunter, he seems like he's carrying some good extra weight as well. So that's a good sign.
It's a really good sign. You know, talking to Coach Fromm at Big 12 Pro Day, one of the things that he talked about with Travis is just that he doesn't have many hobbies outside of playing ball and fishing. This is what he does. And so to see him really change his body over the 2-3 months that he's disappeared, to me suggests that his work ethic is exactly what we want him to be.
Well, for Travis Hunter, that line's not going to sit in the water very long when we get to Green Bay on Thursday night, April 24th, right here on NFL Network. His name will be called early and often. Not often, once. We call it once, but it will be called early. As for Shador Sanders, I think that, you know, if it's not one of the first 3 picks, that sort of becomes the question of the draft. Brian Baldinger with us now from Boulder, watching this warm-up here as we get set to see Shador's throwing script, which includes Travis Hunter on a number of routes here. Baldy, set the scene for us.
Well, the entire league is here. I just got done talking to Jimmy Hadsel of the Cleveland Browns, Kevin Stefanski from the Browns. If we believe that maybe Cam Ward is going number 1, the draft starts at number 2, right? And so here's Cleveland, well represented, watching both Shador and Travis Hunter, and equally watching both in their skill sets. And one thing you noticed about Shador when you meet him, he's bigger and thicker than you think physically. He's put together pretty good. And then Travis Hunter, incredible confidence about himself. It doesn't matter what you're talking about. He loves this game. He's attached to this game. His play over the last 3 years at Jackson State and in Colorado, any ball that's in the air, it's his ball. Like, I don't know if there's a more aggressive guy going after football than Travis Hunter. We're going to get a chance to see a lot of that here today. I've talked to Shador's coach. It's the same coach that's coaching Cam Ward. working off a script here today. We'll know the script, all the routes. We know all the receivers. He is extremely focused right now and intent. And really, the crowd is just beginning to build as we get ready to start this throwing session. But there is a real palpable buzz inside this center right now, getting ready for the show.
Yeah, no question. We're also going to see Jimmy Horn. We'll see Will Shepard and LaJohntay Wester, all the receivers for Colorado and for Shedeur Sanders these last couple of seasons. So in addition to Travis Hunter, I'll have a nice quartet of wideouts. And here we go. Shedeur getting things started here. By the way, what we understand, that's the first time that Deion Sanders had met Jimmy Haslam. We've seen them kind of interact there. So the Browns contingent out in full force to watch this kind of talent on display here in Boulder. And, Baldy brought up the point that Shedeur's QB trainer also working with Cam Ward. And look, we're talking about these two guys as the top quarterbacks. One area, Bucky, you and DJ differ on, the top quarterback. Bucky's got Shedeur up there. DJ, you've got Cam up there. I'll start with you, DJ. When you look at those two together, what are the biggest differences that kind of stand out between the two?
Well, the way I kind of lean towards Cam is just because I think he's got a little more in his body. He's got a little more twitch. He's got a little more life in the ball. He's got a little more life in his legs. I just think he's just a more talented thrower of the football. Now, being a great thrower doesn't make you a great quarterback. And I think Shedeur, when his ability to play on time, when he is playing on time, he can be efficient and accurate and can be successful in his brand of football. They're different stylistically. They might have the same trainer, Buck, but they play the game drastically different.
And I think, I agree with TJ's assessment in terms of the tools and the talent.
Yeah.
Cam Ward has more tools and he certainly is more talented. My assessment on them was based on how I believe they played and how I believe their games translate to the league. To me, I feel like Shedeur Sanders' game is more of a pro-ready, polished game in terms of, hey, we're going to play on the script and not deviate from how the coach wants to play it. The NFL has shifted. In the past, Shedeur would be more like the prototype, but now that Cam Ward, that is more of the prototype where we're seeing guys really gamble on players with tremendous talent at the position. I feel strongly about Shedeur Sanders being able to play on script, which is why I have him over Cam Ward.
Yeah, I mean, look, when he's, in terms of him being a pure passer, you can see it certainly at times, and, throughout these last couple of years at Colorado. When he does have to get out there and throw on the run and can get around the edge there, and he's got some accuracy, especially moving out to his right, but I think the toughness. He's been sacked more than any quarterback in college football the last 2 years. How has that, DJ, in your opinion, kind of affected what we see from him on tape and the way he plays the game?
Well, it's tough. You won't see more run-throughs, like clean run-throughs, when you've got a team that's bringing 4 and you've got 5, sometimes 6 blockers, and they get untouched, clean run-throughs at it, or you don't really have much option. There's not much you can do there. So that's a challenge when you're evaluating him. You see a lot of quick game. The ball come out early. Just funnel screens, hitches, just getting the ball out to the flat, getting it out right away. So those things, and that's, the completion percentage is a combination of a lot of shorter throws. He takes sacks instead of some throwaways at times, which you'd like to see him maybe throw the ball away, dirt it, and save some field position. But he is very, very accurate. Today on this workout, Buck, I'm looking at 2 things. I want to see the crispness in his feet. He has a tendency to drift a little bit at times, can float a little bit in the pocket. Let's be real firm and real crisp in our setup. And then these touch throws, these over-the-top throws, no questions whatsoever. I want to see him power the ball a little bit on some of these deep outs, in cuts, what have you.
I would say that he has developed some bad habits. Some of that is due to the offensive line, but a lot of that is on him. Being able to stay in the pocket. We were looking at tape before we came out here, and we were looking at him naturally just drift out of the pocket in a clean pocket. Some of the things that Shedeur Sanders have to do to succeed at a high level, at the next level, will be, can he display the discipline and the patience that you need to as a pocket passer? Can he trust the protection and trust his wide receivers to hang in there and deliver the ball on time?
Yeah, you can certainly see those as looks like they're kind of getting ready for the actual scripted portion of this workout right now, huddling up. I also like the college football enthusiasts and the sentimentalist in me is like, I love this opportunity to throw with your guys one more time, right? I know that doesn't mean a whole lot in the landscape of NFL evaluation, but for these guys, it would be the last time all 5 of them are ever together in terms of, Shedeur and the 4 receivers. And then, that's kind of a cool way to kind of put it into your time here at CU, which, look, let's make no mistake. I mean, like, the Mile High Mystique has captivated college football here in these last 2 years, and now we're going to see that.
It's funny you talk about captivating the Mystique the last 2 years. I would say it even goes beyond that. Think about how much attention was on him at Jackson State when Prime kind of made the move to go to an HBCU, took his son and Travis Hunter with him, and to watch them grow over that 2-year period, and then watch them elevate their play, go to a higher level, more competition, and play in Colorado. There are a lot of things alike, and the same things that we uttered about Cam Ward, being able to see how he handled every adjustment when you go up in levels. We've been able to see and assess the same things we should do.
Well, one thing I know, it can be a challenge for guys making the leap from the college level to the NFL level, depending on where you played your college ball. Most guys are playing in more of a smaller college town. There's not as much attention on them. You go into a big market, it can be a little bit of a jolt. Look at the number of cameras around him. And that's been like that for him since he was in high school. He's always had the attention. He's always had the focus and the eyes on him, which comes with a lot of pressure. That's going to be old hat for him.
Well, and in the words of Deion Sanders, I don't feel pressure, I apply pressure, right? And it's certainly ready for the red light moment. You see that in his tape. Like, in some of those big-time moments, he has played big-time football.
Yeah, look, I think it's really important. I wrote in a scouting report that I did on NFL.com about Shedeur. I don't know if there's ever been someone that's more ready to be a franchise quarterback than him. Just dealing with expectations and pressure that comes along with being Coach Prime's son, a Hall of Fame. There was a lot of light bulbs always around. Really intriguing to see how he handled it his 4 years in college and how he'll handle it when he gets to the pros.
Back to the draft. Colorado Showcase presented by Harbor Freight, kicking off right here with Shedeur Sanders throwing session. Brett Lewis, Daniel Jeremiah, Bucky Brooks here with you from our NFL Network studios. Brian Baldinger, Steve Leitch down on the field. You're going to hear from Shedeur. You're going to hear from Coach Prime coming up over the course of the next couple of hours. Love that part of it.
He is in pure motion too. Like, it is a very smooth motion when he throws the ball. And they're going to start out with a lot of underneath stuff, just kind of getting the flow and kind of ease their way into this workout. But getting him on the move, you can already see there's a little bit of a pace to this thing with a full cadence.
One thing that stands out already, looking at, like, just comparing the two, Cam Ward and him, his ball is a little bit looser than Cam Ward. When Cam Ward's ball came out of the Miami Pro Day, it was tight, spinning, velocity's a little different. This has a little wobble, a little tail to it.
We're going to work our way up. What was the number? We were at like 60-something throws?
It was initially going to be sub 60, but then once Travis Hunter joined the fray, I think it got up over 60 throws. So it's been a good 30 plus minutes worth of throws here for Shedeur Sanders. There's that smile. We had a chance to talk to him and talk to Coach Prime, at the Big 12 Pro Day, which we had here at NFL Network as well. And again, it's just that every interaction, you feel like the moment is never too big. And these are those types of moments that he can certainly thrive in.
I mean, it's a small thing, but I do like the fact that he's projected himself. You can hear his cadence through our microphones pretty clearly.
Yeah. Look at a pro day setting, all should be in the ground, right? I mean, these are those, routes on air. This is what we should be. These are the types of things that you want to see from a pro day. Clean, crisp.
There's good feet. Again, I want to see the feet be a little bit firm, be a little crisp, and your footwork so far so good there. And then we'll get a chance to see it, Buck. I just want to see him get outside the numbers a little bit, and let's drive the football.
Well, I mean, I think that's the big thing, because a lot of the comparisons between him and QB1, Cam Ward, is going to be about the arm talent and the arm strength. What he needs to do, Shedeur, he has to dispel some of the notion that he's a small, noodle arm quarterback, because that's some of the buzz that has been going on. There's a great, that was a 7-on-7, bro.
Yeah.
I've seen that on YouTube before.
Yeah, that's the other thing with this with Travis Hunter. I mean, his ball skills, whether he's playing offense or defense, just incredible.
Which, by the way, it does feel like he wants to play offense. Like,
Yes.
if given the choice between the two,
You think?
yeah.
I'm going to run routes. He didn't say anything about
I don't know if he's doing any drills.
I don't think so. Yeah.
Somebody showed him. Somebody got to him and showed him the numbers there. The contract. Let's look at these franchise numbers real quick for
Wait, what did Jamar Chase say?
Yeah. It's funny. Coach Prime said privately, he said that if you gave Travis Hunter the choice to go to either of the rooms, he is going to make his way to the wide receiver. I think that is really kind of played out, particularly the day that he elected to run routes as opposed to doing anything else.
See, it's Travis Hunter's got no gloves on too. But
No, I didn't see that either.
I mean, that's old school. That's Red Lewis type.
Let's go.
I got to feel the ball.
Feel stiff.
like to me, I know at a lot of these pro days, you'll see where they're going to show off a lot of the movement. Let's get rolling right, rolling left, squaring the shoulders. I've seen you do a lot of those things. Again, this is a smart way to approach it, in my opinion. Let's just take a firm 5, a firm 7. Let's get the ball out blockage.
Yeah.
I'm a believer in your pro day, man. Play to your strength. And so it's no need for him to go out there and act all crazy and get willy-nilly outside the pocket. The strength of his game is playing inside the pocket. He needs to show people and impress people in that regard.
Ball just a little bit down.
Look at Hunter here.
Travis does a great job of always framing the ball, too.
Yeah.
I mean, he gets down, he bends his knees, gets down so he can frame it up properly. That's why he doesn't drop the football.
I mean, he has elite ball skills. I mean, whatever position we're talking about, like his ball skills, his hand-eye coordination is exceptional.
And for a guy who's, splitting his time, right? Spending time, working defense in the defensive meeting rooms, and then, to come out and, kind of looking at his route technique and the way that he's been working on that part of the craft, I think is something that's kind of interesting to follow here too, because he can win on athleticism in a lot of different ways. You saw that on tape a bunch.
That would be the thing to consider when we're talking about Travis Hunter at wide receiver. To me, it may be a bit of a learning curve when it comes to route running and doing some of those things, but he is so talented and so gifted. It shouldn't take long for him to be able to make impact plays.
The ball is a little bit loose. He's got a little tail to it today. Nice ball there.
Farm over the middle. Travis Hunter, the Bolitnikoff Award winner this year, given to the top receiver. Did not win the Thorpe Award like his head coach Deion Sanders did back in his playing days at Florida State. A little bit of a subject of contention there. That went to Janae Barron, a talented DB from Texas, but no question. I mean, in your book, he's the top receiver and the top DB, Teach?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, go back to a year when we've seen something like that. I mean, people want to talk about Champ Bailey. It's not quite to this
level. Never been done. And look, I feel like I messed up a little bit because I didn't include him in my wide receiver right now. I feel like the next iteration of
we have
to put him in the wide receiver. Yeah. I wrote him as a DB, but DJ might be the first time ever that you write a report
twice.
Like he would literally have to go in the system twice at wide receiver and DB in our old gigs.
He is very accurate on these little balls. You see slot fades when you watch him. He draws a lot of rain with the ball. It's kind of a Russell Wilson deep ball. Like he gets it up.
So I have something for you. So Prime told me there have only been 2 guys that have really trained him at quarterback. The guy that we see today, and the moonball specialist himself, the originator, Jeff Blake. When you talk about the moonball, you have to remember Jeff Blake is one of the original Steve Logan at East Carolina. Sanders game.
By the way, let's take a second here and just realize Colorado, for probably, I don't know, the 12 times since Deion's got there, is at the center of the football universe, right?
Oh, yeah.
This program was irrelevant. You couldn't be any more irrelevant than this program was. And all eyes are on Boulder.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it is transformative success. I mean, it is bottom of the barrel. It's a bowl game, and now beyond. Let's see where it goes from here.
Even when they weren't up, even early on when they won some early and then were losing that first year, you can't take your eyes off of it. It's fun to watch. It's an excitement and enthusiasm that's surrounding the program. So it's a miraculous turnaround there.
Brian Baldinger with us, watching this workout down on the field at the Colorado Indoor Facility. Baldy, it was a nice deep ball down there that didn't quite end up in the hands of the receiver, but still on the money.
It was the best ball he's thrown all day. It was the tightest spiral. Will Leonard reached out for it just a little long. It's the only incompletion so far. One thing that Shador has said to his coach Jay over here from Select Sports is he wants tempo. He wants tempo. He wants to get into a rhythm. And so here he is just moving to his left. You're right. The ball does get away from him a little bit. It does wobble. He's got a little bit of that to his ball. But here's Travis Hunter right here as coming from the tight slot right now.
Yeah, we're just showing that deep ball you were talking
right
about,
here.
Goldie. But yeah, there's Travis.
That was the best ball we throw. That was the tightest spiral right there. He's been working a little bit under center, some under center, some 6-step drop. Here he is under center right now. They've got a running back here in place just for play action right here, so you'll see a little bit of that right now. Little fake right there, step and throw. Good right there. There you go.
Baldy, what's the difference having been on the field with Cams of just life on the football?
Privacy. Throw you out architecture. Was that good?
What a vacation.
Don't you mean holiday?
My bad. Immerse yourself in a world of total moisture without squash. The naturally breathing that infinitely moisturize your body and mind. Take a bite out of dryness without the squash total moisture.
Yeah, there's a difference, DJ. It's not quite as tight as Cam's, and it doesn't come out quite as hot, I would say. And I thought Cam was just pinpoint outside of a couple throws that got away from him during that. So there's a little bit of a difference, but I would say that the command that Shador has out here is just the same as Cam's. He's running the show right now. He's basically telling his coach what he wants, how he wants it. And I'm telling you, you can always hear a pin drop in here. I mean, everybody's eyes are on basically Shador and Travis every time he's up. I mean, it's a different feel watching this here right now. I mean, even the clapping after the completions feels a little bit different than it did in Miami 10 days ago.
Coach Prime down there at the 12-yard line, center field, just watching this thing unfold.
By the way,
the end zone view.
It just hit me. If the Colorado coaching staff is all represented at this pro day, it's got to be the most Hall of Famers ever at a pro day.
Warren Sapp, Marshall Faulk, I mean, Deion Sanders. It goes as a pretty high-powered coaching staff. That's
here we go. Here's a deep ball.
NFL talent over route here. That one on the money.
The guys, the two deep balls he's thrown now are the two best balls that have come out of his hands. Like the deeper it goes, the tighter it gets in his release right now.
You think there are some similarities? Look, they're different players, totally different type of athletes, but in the way that Caleb Williams felt a lot of times that he had to get out there and extend and try to make up for some deficiencies along the offensive line, you think that's maybe part of what we see sometimes with Shador when, you know, he's maybe exiting the pocket when he doesn't necessarily have to because it does happen so often with the pressure?
I think there's some of it, but ultimately he's a big game chaser. I mean, a big play hunt. He is looking for the big play, and sometimes at quarterback, we need to take the check down, take the underneath stuff, and the big play naturally happens. I call it in my report I wrote, he can get greedy.
Yeah, greedy.
Greedy, looking and waiting for the big play to uncover instead of taking the check down that's ready and available for him right up underneath.
Nice throw down the left sideline here. Easy money. And look, I think we saw at times, you know, with Caleb in Chicago, that can be tough to discard from your game, right?
Well, in Caleb's case, Caleb had always been fast enough and athletic enough to get away from everybody. Yeah. I think Shador, in some ways, starting at Jackson State, maybe some of the stuff he got away with there, he learned during his time at Colorado. He can't do that as I go up a little bit higher in competition. And Caleb's got more twitch and all that stuff on a different level. So,
just in terms of like situational, right? The way that he was dealing with things that were happening in front of him. And, you know, the other thing that Shador Sanders might be top of class in, we talk toughness. Again,
you can't question that. We can have debates. Compare quarterbacks. You can talk about maybe this is at this level or that. There's no debate on this kid's toughness. He takes shots.
Yeah. And he took a shot down the field right there that was, again, right on the money. The deep balls have looked good thus far for Shador Sanders. And again, you talk about making plays in games where your team needs you to be. big, right, to raise the level of play of the guys around you again. You know, you go back to that Baylor game, scrambling out to his left on that Hail Mary. Ends up getting completed. They go ahead and win that game against Baylor in overtime. You know, we talk about the 17-play, 80-yard, 8-minute drive against North Dakota State in the opener. That really could have changed the tenor of the season if you come up on the wrong side of that one. That throw and that catch by Travis Hunter, by the way, was incredible in the end zone. Contested catch.
I think he's at his best playing on time and being a point.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Like you talk about some of the stuff where he's trying to create and scramble. That's not him. That's not what he does well. I don't think he's going to be able to do that at the next level.
Right.
I think he's going to be at his best. Back foot, ball gone. See it click quickly, get it out. He's very accurate on those. And you'll see, when we talk about tight window throws, a lot of times we're referencing, can you drive the ball, you know, and you've got closing defenders, can you squeeze the ball in a tight window? He completes a lot of tight window deep balls, like over the shoulder in very tight coverage, where it's got to be a perfect teardrop there. Those are his best throws for me.
Those are his best throws, and it's funny because it sounds like, how can it be a guy that is a touch timing and anticipation passer when we talk about him being late throwing the ball so much? But his game really is touch and timing. So often we see young quarterbacks in the NFL struggle because they wait for the receiver to uncover before they let it go. To me, Shedeur has a natural feel for the timing of the passing game, and that can help him maybe play better early in his NFL career.
And by the way, Travis Hunter's he's different. Baldy's there. I don't see a bead of sweat on his body as he's going through.
Baldy's he breathing hard?
Gracious.
No, he's smiling more than he's breathing. Like all he wants to do is run another 6 moves. It's unbelievable. He's got the body fat of a hummingbird. So like, you don't have to worry about that.
His feet move as fast as the hummingbird
He's just yes. He is so smooth.
Here's Shedeur. Yeah, nice out route there. And again, you know, if you're looking back at, if you watched Colorado and you really sat there and watched Shedeur Sanders, so much of the way that he got rid of the football was, again, on the move, getting out of there and trying to get away from pressure. This workout has been more of what you really want to see from him. Yeah.
Well, it's really, there's two kinds of throws in that offense where it's somewhat predetermined before the snap, the ball's out quick.
Yeah.
And then it's, okay, we're going to go more down the field. Well, you got to kind of buy some time, move around, and kind of create a little bit.
Yeah, and if we're looking at this, you know, obviously Pat Shermer, offensive coordinator there, but they certainly run some college-type concepts, right? There's a lot of space to work the field. So if you're looking at where this skill set kind of translates and the type of teams and the type of systems that might favor a quarterback like Shedeur Sanders, is there anything that immediately comes to mind to you on that one, Buck?
So the connection with Cleveland was always interesting to me just because of the Pat Shermer, Kevin Stefanski connection. Kevin Stefanski being the quarterback coach in Minnesota when Pat Shermer was the offensive coordinator. But in a perfect world, if we didn't have to worry about draft position, I would love to see Shedeur Sanders in L.A. working with Sean McVay. I think that style of offense, the way that they go about setting it up, works. And also, there's a loose comparison that I have with Shedeur Sanders and Jared Goff in terms of style of play and how they have to derive their success. To me, Sean McVay would be the perfect coach for Shedeur Sanders, even though we're talking about being picked in the 20s. If we're talking about perfect fit, scheme matches his game, that would be LA.
And I like the fact that he's throwing indoors right now. So when I look at him as someone who I don't think is going to overpower the football, sometimes you got to look at where you're going to be playing your games, and you start looking at teams in Las Vegas and teams in New Orleans picking 6 and 9, and you can say, okay, I can see that being a nice fit for him.
Well, technically, the Browns are
eventually
have an indoor
eventually,
that's right.
But I think that's important, and also let's talk about some of the quarterbacks. Yeah, the quarterbacks that play in the AFC North tend to have stronger arms because you got to deal with the conditions. We can talk about this, like Brian Callahan kind of loosely made the comparison between him and Joe Burrow. But Joe Burrow's arm, ball is firm. It's a
little bit bigger. He's a little better athlete. Yeah, a little more arm.
A little different.
In terms of processing, is there something you can tell on tape the way that he sees the game?
You know, I get asked a lot about processing with quarterbacks in college, and I got to just be totally honest with you. None of these guys have to go to the They just don't.
But in terms of projecting, you know, where it could be, I mean, like we saw with Burrow. right?
Yeah.
That you knew that was going to
Burrow, you know why? Because they went empty, and you can see him go 1, 2, 3, boom, and it was gone. Like that was his. That was his feet.
Oh, good ball right there.
Good ball, right on time.
Probably should have been caught.
But it's hard. That's why, and we noted that. I think to me, Burrow and I would say Tua, probably two of the best processors that we've seen over the last decade. Okay, as you can see, even though it's still a lot of collegey-ness to it in terms of the offense, you can see 1, 2, 3 gone. Most of these guys, Buck, it's a lot of predetermined stuff. It's scheme winners, they like to call them, where the offense coordinator's drawing it up and you know where you're going. You just don't see as much of it.
You don't see as much of it, and honestly,
That Jimmy won?
I think that's one. You know, it's funny. So going back to the point that talking about with Sean McVay, that type of offense where you talk about scripting the winners. His style of play works well when you have the power of defense, when you have a great play designer that can create things, he can see it. I don't know, you're not going to get a lot of the creative off-script plays. It's going to be really important that the team that he lands with, man, the offensive coordinator has to be a wizard when it comes to drawing up against the runners.
Replay here for you. That one nearly tickled the rafters.
Yeah, he does. He puts a lot of air under it, but it allows you to run through it.
Baldy, what do you got for us?
Well, I was just going back to the offensive philosophy that you guys were talking about and talking to Pat Shermer. He basically installed Chip Kelly's offense when he came out of Oregon and the things he did in Philadelphia when he first came. And so he's got inside receivers, outside receivers. He was all geared to playing fast. And so when you talk about a lot of the protection breakdowns, they didn't have 21 personnel. They didn't have play action passes. It was, teams were blitz zeroing him where they were sending 3 hitters at him, and he just had to get the ball out of his hands. And to your point, DJ, there wasn't time to process in this offense. It was point and shoot. But the one thing that I have seen here today, and what showed up in the 2 years here at Colorado, guys, is his deep ball accuracy is as good as anybody's. It's the best throw that he's made all day. It's the deep shots. The ball comes out tight. He's got a good arc on the ball, and he never misses. If he does miss, he's not missing by more than a foot or two. I think the deeper the ball, the better the ball right now.
Baldy, how does the deep ball, because I mentioned Russell Wilson, that was the first one that came to me. Just from a deep ball perspective, what's your comparison? Seeing it live, I know you've seen Russ in person a bunch.
Very similar, very similar. That was what Russell's game was when he first came in, and how tight it was, and the arc that he had on it, and just the location of the ball. It showed up throughout the 2 years here at Colorado for sure. It's shown up here today, whether he's throwing to Will Leonard or Travis Hunter right now, or to Jimmy Horn, or whoever it is. The ball is right on the money, and it has just this beautiful art to it. You talked about making it rain a little bit, TJ, earlier, and that's exactly what it does. I mean, it's just a really, really pretty ball, and the tightest spot. When he throws the out routes on timing right now, where he's trying to get the ball out of his hands before the break, the ball gets away from him a little bit. But the deep balls down the field right now, that looks like a real NFL throw.
Yeah, no question. And that's been a strength of this workout. Again, great placement there from Shedeur. It's like that indoor might not be a full 100.
No,
it's back, but that would have been in the end zone.
The top line and those things right around the open.
Yeah.
But this is also, an example of why you do a private workout. You're a team that's looking to take a quarterback in the first round. This is great. Get a chance to see him get out there with these guys and throw the ball and kind of do what they want to do there. But to me, like, you're running a private workout with Shedeur. I'm just going to, we're going to drive the ball today. This is what we're going to do. We're going to have a 30-throw, 40-throw workout where we're going to just see if you can really power and drive the football. It's a balance on these pro days between wanting to accentuate the thing